What's up, everybody? What's up? Okay, some of us just spent an hour together, and some of you have just shown up. So let's get our cameras. Madison, what's up? Nice to see you. You should have, all of you, if you didn't get a chance, and we could dump it in the chat bar, we have an assessment, which will be really cool. There's going to be a part that we're going to fill that out together. Okay, we're going to fill it out together. And make sure, since we have some new people joining us, why doesn't everybody jump in the chat bar real quick? Just say who you are, what you do, and where you're at in the world. Okay, everybody do that real quick. Like who you are, what you do, where you're at in the world. So, because we want to make sure that we are all together like a family here, hanging out, learning, growing, and expanding together. So type it in. I know we got people from all over the globe, So who you are, what you do. Yes, Freedom Tribe Warrior from, tell them where you're at, Jennifer. And there we go. Home service company. California. Utah, Australia. Another Cali. Why is that? Why when we say Cali, Dave, does that song always make me feel like I got to say going back to Cali? What is, like, it's just programmed into me. That's maybe some people don't know that song. There you go. All right. Cool. Marissa. Awesome. Nick's coming in. I'm sure more people will be jumping in as we start going. All right. If you are a Freedom Tribe member, can you just go in your name, hit the three dots and put FT next to your name? This way, everybody knows who you are. This training, okay, this training is human engineering. And boom, everybody, when you see, can you see, give me thumbs up if you see the screen and the info. All right, cool. Thank you for that. Thank you. Here's what we're going to do. Make sure you got a notepad. We're going to take some notes. We're going to make this interactive. I'm going to work with you. I'm going to talk with you, not at you. And we're going to learn a whole lot today. It's all about human engineering. Now, I must give you the disclaimers, everybody. You must have two disclaimers here. The first disclaimer, by watching this training, you are agreeing to the following. Professional advice disclaimer. Food Dog Group does not provide any legal, financial, medical, or professional advice, and attendees should consult their own overcharging lawyer, overcharging accountant, blood-sucking doctor. That's just my added stuff in there. Or financial professional for relevant advice. Nothing contained in this training program should be construed as professional, legal, accounting, medical, therapeutic, or financial advice. In addition, no representation whatsoever is made regarding the results to be achieved from participating in the program or through the use of the program materials or confidential information. If we all got that, can you type in the chat bar? Got it. You're not a lawyer, you're not an attorney. You're just really a cool guy with lots of tattoos. Maybe just put in cool guy. I'll take it. All right, let me give you the massive results disclaimer. Food Dog Group only provides insight. You apply it. Therefore, Food Dog Group is not responsible for your massive success and growth in all areas of life, including but not limited to a better relationship with your spouse and children, more wealth, a more successful career, greater impact to serve others in the community and the world, a significant legacy, improved mental and physical health and wellness, a constant quest for knowledge, wisdom, and improvement, and a greater overall sense of fulfillment in all aspects of your life. Food Dog Group is not responsible if you start getting up earlier, enjoy a more active and enriching day, live more productively, smile a lot more, and feel amazing, all while making better choices. Food Dog Group is not responsible for turning you into a superhuman who squeezes the most rewarding experience out of every moment while living your best life ever. Maybe type in amen or something there, okay? Type in whatever you want there. Do you have the massive results disclaimer? We're not responsible for you loving life more than you've ever loved it before. or maybe we are responsible for that. Okay. Here's our agreements, everybody. Let's have the cameras on, because it'd be really creepy if I talked to you for like 90 minutes and you couldn't see me. You'd be wondering what I'm wearing and what I'm doing. That would just be weird. No recording. We got that for you. Let's respect each other. Okay. I normally only attract respective people anyway. We'll support each other. No judgments, right? Judgment-free zone. Let's be curious. No judgments. No politics. So we won't debate the who's the president, who's making good or bad decisions. No self-promotion. So don't throw your berry or grape juice in the chat bar, please. Okay. If you want to promote something, hit me up later and we could talk about bringing it to people. Playful out. Take notes and participate in the chat bar. This way we know you're here. Okay. Take action and be willing to transform and grow. And if you're new in our world and you're just showing up for the first time, just type in new. So we know that you are new to, whoa. Come on, baby, come back up. We know that you're new to our world. Let me just do a quick little reset here. Minor little, I think this is my ability to not, does anybody else wait a little? Not Dave. Dave never does this. The rest of you, do you ever wait to update your software a little too long? Can somebody type in the chat bar? Do you ever wait till it's the problem or just me? You could say just me too. That's okay. All right. Let's go here. So human engineering. Here is going to be our agenda. Yes, Lenita, good. Oh, my wife is that she wins over me for that. Here's our agenda. I'm going to tell you, because we have some new people, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. A lot of you know about me, but I'll just share some things, because why the hell would you listen to anything I say if you don't even know who I am? We'll go through a sense of reflection questions, give you some things to think about a little bit. All right. I'll share the human engineering process. We'll go through all that. We will do a kick butt life assessment. It's going to be really, really great. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to be very rewarding. Okay. And then I'll show you how to change the channel, right? We'll talk about changing the channel. Like, how do we shift these things? Then we'll talk a little bit about how can we start moving forward to the best life ever. If that sounds really cool, can you give me a big boom in the chat bar in all caps? Can you do that for me? This will let me know that you're all hanging out. All right, we got some major booms there. Most of you know who I am, but here, a lot of people call me Hanchi. That's just a teacher of teachers is what that translates into. And you could just call me, the cool guy with the tattoos who's built really cool things. What I'm going to share with you tonight with human engineering is really, really important for everybody, not only for a business owner, not only for a mom, not only for a dad, not only for career-minded, not only for young, not only for mature people, it's for everybody. Because it's not what helped me create this really big company here. And it's not what helped me create this movement here. This assessment is what makes life really, really rewarding, really, really inspired. And that's the important part about why I'm showing this here. Some of you that knew in my world, well, maybe you didn't know that I built really, really big companies and do things. That's not the impressive part. Anybody can really build, and some of you might want to write this down, anybody can build a big company. Not everyone can build their most amazing, most rewarding, most passionate life. Most people, when they're building their careers and everything else, they lose life. And today is about gaining a better life. It's about understanding things. And when you have that, I hope, and I don't put this here to brag about my life, I put it here to let you know I've been through all of it, right? I've been through parts where I was very confused about life. Here, I don't know, I'm probably 18 there, 17, 18, where I just didn't know where I was going, what I was doing, how I was going to do it, to this point, logical sequence, get married to a really beautiful woman, and then figuring that out, right? Like figuring out relationships. Now my wife and I are together since we're 15 years old. And we figured out like how to keep getting and questing and journey and growing to create what we call the best life ever, right? The best life ever. And can you write this down real quick? And Aaron, thanks for typing in a chat bar for everybody. The best life ever is built by design. It's never built by default. Some of you in my world for a long time, you've heard me say that. Every time I say it, I remind myself about, to keep having the best life ever, you have to keep designing the best life ever. That's what you have to do. Default gets you when you pay no attention. It's the outcome. It's the outcome you get when you don't pay attention. It's like, I'm doing this, I'm building a business, I'm doing all this stuff. And then one day you wake up and you're like, and you tell me if you ever said this. Let's get transparent with each other. We're all friends here. Have you ever got to the point where you said to yourself, hey, is this worth it? Tell me in the chat bar. Hey, what's up, Simon? Nice to see you. Did you ever get to that point where you said this? Is this really worth it? Is this really worth it? And if you got to that point before, then you've been to the point that I've been at many, many times where you're just like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. And that's what happens. So I want to let you know that this amazing life is possible for everybody, as long as it's by design. What's up, Nick? Nice to see you. As long as it's by design. I have the amazing gift by design to work in this world now, second world. I have one company in one world where I help people grow their business called CEO Warrior. A lot of you probably are either in it or know about it. Then I have this other world called Food Dog Group, where we have a whole team over here that helps people grow their life. And if you want to grow everything else, if you want to grow your wealth to amazing abundant levels, okay? If you want to grow a business to the levels of, like I did, 32 million a year, or build the top training and implementation organization on the planet, if you want to do those things, you must 10x growing your personal life to grow everything else. You want to grow your wealth 10x? You better 100x your personal life of who you are. So, and this is some of the amazing things we've done and we will be doing in the future. We've done trainings. And if you attended any of these, can you type in yes, or type in power? Like we did Seekers of Power. We did One Life. We did Unlocking the Wealth Code. These were 5-week intense trainings of growing your human self into a machine. And then we have something called the Food Dog Freedom Tribe, where people expand on a weekly basis of growth. So for some of you that are new, and maybe some of you that maybe don't even know, I want to just give you the quick reminder. Go here, fooddoggroup.com. We'll put it in the chat bar. And when you go there, it's real simple. There's an area there to join a community, and you could register, and we have other platforms for you guys. And so you want to join the Food Dog group, that will take you there. And then you want to register to get insights and updates on email, especially since we have amazing sequence of trainings coming up again. And I wouldn't want you to miss any of that. So let's talk about some self-reflection questions for you guys. And what I'd like you to do is write down these questions. We'll put it in the chat bar, because I know I move quick, but we got a lot to do in this 90-minute period. Are there things that need less attention in your life? You could just give me a yes or a boom. Are there things that need less attention? You've been giving it way too much attention. And by giving it too much attention, you're getting the opposite of what you need. And if you're willing to, type in the chat bar, what is something you're giving way too much attention to right now? And when we do, my wife and I, we have been doing, Simon, fire walks for 15 years, maybe longer, 17 years, fire walks with 5 people, 50 people. I've helped people run events with 800 people. And sometimes they get what we call a fire kiss. Did anybody in here ever get a little fire kiss? It's a point where you get like a little thing on your foot. And the thing I would say is, when you go back to your room tonight, don't stare at your foot and that little fire kiss, because what you put attention on grows. Good or bad. Good or bad. What you put attention on grows, good or bad. Let me ask you another self-reflected question. The first one is less attention. The second question is the opposite. Are there things that you know you should give more attention to? Tell me in the chat bar. What is one of those things that you know you should give more attention to? Is it your health? Jennifer says herself. Is it your relationship? Your time? What else? Your health, or is it your career? Is it your ability to grow? What should you give more attention to? Is it friends? Is it your community? Is it charities? Relationship? Thank you for your honesty, everybody. When we interact like this, we grow together. And what you're willing to tell out in the public is what you're willing to tell yourself to take action on. Serving and giving? Yeah. Let's go to number 3. Are there things you would like to spend more time on in life? And if so, what is it? What are some things you'd like to spend more time on in life? Family, exercise, hobbies, kids. What do you got? Is there a hobby that you used to love, but you don't do it no more? Do you want to do more time on that in life? Living in the moment. Yeah, being present, right? Mindful on present. Homeschooling kids. Yeah, Natasha, we homeschooled our kids for a long time. If you ever need a conversation about that, let me and Jen know, and we could give you some insight of what we would do and maybe what we would never do. All right, let's go to number 4. All right. Are there things you would like to spend less time on? What are things you would like to spend less time on? Is that okay, worrying? Less time working? What else would you like to spend less time on? Type in the chat bar. Less time working. Okay. Some people might say less time complaining. Some might say, less time doing laundry, less time cutting the lawn, right? Less time arguing with people, less time causing arguments on Facebook, what people do, right? They love less time on drama. Type in drama if you just need less time on drama anywhere in your life. Do you need less time on drama? Yeah, it always goes up, drama, right? It always goes less time on drama. All right, are you missing out on things that are most important to you right now? What are you missing out on right now that's most important to you? Type it in. Is it your kids growing up? Is it connecting with your husband or wife or partner? What are the things right now you're missing out on, right? Yeah, the kiddos, okay? All right, I got one more for you. And this one are there things, or let me ask it different. What are the things keeping you from your best life ever? What are the things keeping you from your best life ever? And as we go through this training together tonight, and I teach you and we work together, here's what I found out. Let's just drop the act and let's just be truthful. Like I remember, because I'm an electrician by trade. Well, I did electrical work today. My hands are actually from this house are actually getting they're getting like, man's hands again, right? They're like a little rugged now. They were really soft, like palm olive hands, but now that I'm doing some physical work, right? They're actually getting they're getting strong again. Did you see them today, babe? They're like really like rough looking. And, when people would ask me in the world on a job, they would go like, how are things going? And I would always say like the truth, like it's horrible. This is bad. I didn't get paid. This person screwed me. This employee, like I never been one to filter back into making people think something was different than the truth. Like if it was horrible, I told people it sucks. The whole world could be saying, I'm doing great. My company's growing. And I would, if mine wasn't, I was like, good for you. I'm so proud of you. Mine's not. It's horrible. This is what we want to do tonight, because the more congruent you can get with truth, because this is not Facebook. There's no judgments here. When you're on Facebook and you do your post, let's see we'll tell the truth here. When you do your post, I bet you check it, your life post. I bet you filter it to what your friend that you haven't seen in 20 years might think. You filter it based on what your mom might think, your friend might say, a buddy. How many of you filter your post and you think like, when I post this, what will everyone else think and say? Come on, just type in truth if there's a little truth there, right? A little bit. Yeah. You're like, man, if I post that pasta meal, my mom might come on and be like, you call that pasta? Those noodles look, they look too thick. They look too dry, right? And you're like, oh, thanks, mom. So I didn't learn how to cook nothing, right? Or you post your car and someone's like, oh, you got that model, the middle model. You're like, well, what does that mean? I couldn't afford the top model, right? So let's be transparent. Then I post with nerves. Yeah. You know what? In the future, post with nerves of steel. So when people be fascinated, Lanita, consider fascination by the behaviors of humans. Like I always treat Facebook like I went to the zoo and I just seen like a 3-headed gorilla. I'm like, it's fascinating. It's just fascinating. Your response is fascinating. And when people come at you, do you want to know the greatest comment to ever give? Like, when someone keeps disagreeing with you, does that ever happen? Type in yes if it ever happens. I'll give you the greatest thing to ever say. It's the most, my wife knows what I'm going to say. It's the greatest, most empowering thing you could do. You just type in, you win. That's it. That's all you do. You type in, you win. And it's like, in life, and this will be really good for going right into this process we're going to talk about. Life and relationships and conflict, sometimes it's like a rubber band, right? It's like a rubber band. And with a rubber band, a rubber band is not dangerous unless you're pulling it back, aiming it at someone, or two people pull it. So if me and Shane, right? Ready, Shane? Grab the side of the rubber band. You got it? All right, pull. Don't let go. Hang on. Now look, Shane's pulling. He's like, you know what, Mike? You're a problem. You're no good. You're causing me aggravation. And I go, oh, really? Click. And I let go. And now he's like, he's got the rubber band. It's just like this. And he's like, no, Mike, pull the rubber band. I want to fight with you. I'm like, no, just hang on to it. It's just like sloppy. You just hold that rubber band. I'm not going to pull it. See, if you don't pull the rubber band, there's no resistance. Now, if you start pulling and you're one of those people like, oh, I'll be the last word, type in the chat bar. Who's my last word, people? Come on, type it in. Type in last word. I know some of you are here. You're like, I got you. Snap. See ya. And then you kill the post and you're out of there, right? You're like, I'm the last word person. All right, let's go into the process of human engineering here so that you understand how this all fits together before we go into the assessment. The first part, and you fill this out with me or draw the diagram, is you have to have some kind of form of assessment. Okay. In the middle, this is human engineering. Now remember, the whole thing about any training is to create an awakening. Okay. An awakening, a moment of aha moment, but an aha moment where you're ready to make a new decision. That's what this assessment's going to be. We want to go through questions. We're like, never thought of it. Now I want to make a decision. Once the assessment happens, we're going to get a new sense of knowledge. A new sense of knowledge. We're going to think in a different way. We're going to ask ourselves questions. I know that you probably haven't asked before. And then through this sense of knowledge, we want to have a sense of growth, right? A sense of growth, like, oh, wow, okay, now I have this realization. Now I'm ready to grow. Once we grow, we have a choice. When you choose to grow, you take on a new identity. That's what growth is. When you were 3 years old versus 10 years old, you took on a new identity. That's when they say the terrible twos, right? That's like a forced identity. Everybody tries to force it on you. You're like, you have a little baby. You ever do that? It's so great. People are just amazing, right? Lenita, you have your little baby, you burp them, and then you're around an adult that has a bunch of kids already. They're professionals, and they go, oh, wait till they're 2. And you're like, shield, you're like, you cannot curse my life with terrible twos, right? But you adopt it, so you have terrible twos. And then you bump into that person, you're like, oh yeah? Well, wait till your kids in college. Wait till you see what happens to your children, right? You want to curse them back and stuff, right? But identity is going to happen. Your identity is shifting every day, right? If someone you love died, your identity changed. If somebody was born into your world, you had a baby, your identity changed. When your identity changes, you're going to take action. Now, you got to remember a thing about identity. Identity could be good action or bad action. And I don't want to use the words good or bad. We'll use indifferent, but maybe not what you want. Like someone who has, they were a very honest person, and then they became a criminal. It's still an identity, right? It may not be the identity you want, but it's the identity they have right now. But when we grow and we choose an identity, we then can take action. After that, we have to have a sense of tracking. Now, if you look at tracking for your identity, we could have a sense of being mindful, right? Being mindful. Like, think of your identity, who you are today. And if there was one thing that you just would love to adopt a different way, what would that one thing be? Would it be a little less judgmental? Would it be, I want my identity to have less negative self-talk or hurtful self-talk? I want my identity to be more supportive of people. Everybody type in the chat bar real quick. Like, what's one new identity thing you would like to adopt or adapt into your world? Fearless. Yeah. I love it. Clarity. Yeah, I'd love that to be in my identity. I'd love to not jump on things, but get clarity. View the glass as half full. Yeah. The more strategic before acting. Love it. Powerful, inspiring, all great things. Once you create mindful around that, then you want to have a sense of support. Because if you end up, and there's two types of support. There's support that is empowering, and there's support that's disempowering. Okay. You have support that's powering, and you have support. It's still support. People that are disempowering, people that are telling you, like, I remember telling people when I first decided I was going to grow a really large service company. Why are you going to do that? Why are you going to work? Like, what for? Right? It's very disempowering, you know? And then when I grew it to probably when I was doing 20 million a year, then they tried to tell me how I should feel about it. Oh, big company, I bet you have big problems. Well, no, but what? Why are you trying to give me big problems? Like, why are you trying to gift me those things? Like, very disempowering, right? I remember my brother one time, I shared this story before. I went to, hey, Marissa, nice to see you. I went to, I was going to a birthday party and I was coming from work and I showed up and I had a uniform on and my brother was there and he said, "Oh, don't you look cute in your uniform?" Now, was that empowering or disempowering? I felt for a minute there like, wait a minute, this is pretty disempowering. Like, why would he say that? And then I grew a $32 million company. And then probably when I was about 15 or 20 million, he called me up one day and he said, "Hey, where do you buy those uniforms?" Where do you buy those uniforms? I said, "Go here for the uniforms." So you're not making fun of me no more, are you? Right? But I didn't there's a difference between disempowering people. Wait, watch this. There's a difference between disempowering people and accepting disempowering on me. Do you get that? Like, disempowering people, that doesn't mean I have to accept their disempowering behavior. Okay, I don't have to accept what they feel or what they think. I have a choice. It's my choice. It's my choice. Okay. And I laughed. Actually, what happened was at Simon, it became motivation for me. Motivation. Like, I tell everybody, I hope everybody tells me what I'm going to do next. It won't work. It's impossible. You shouldn't do it. You'll never get there. It's the first thing I do. Anytime I'm starting to build something or create something, I ask somebody, can you just tell me it's a horrible idea and tell me it will never be successful? And I try to almost beg them to give that gift to me, because the minute they say it, I'm like, watch me now. It's my fuel. I don't know why. It's just how I'm wired. Does this process make sense? If it does, put a big boom in the chat bar if this process makes sense. Now, here's what we're going to go through. And if you didn't download it, I'd like you to download it or print it really quick. It's in the chat bar. And if you did print it or download it so you could fill it out, can you just type in, like, I did it? I did it. Because I want to make sure, okay, you did it. I want to make sure you guys have this. Good. All right. Nice job, Marissa. Good. Shane, good. All right. If anybody needs to go do it, can you just say, I'm doing it now? So I know if we need to give a minute or so. It'll be more. You got it? Okay, good. We're going to go through these together. Okay, we're going to go through them together. All right, let's get started. First off, so here's our Magnificent Seven assessment agreements. And everyone I read, I need you to either say yes or boom and acknowledge it. Acknowledge it for me, okay? Because the assessment will only be effective when we agree to these following. Otherwise, it will be jaded. Number one, do you agree to be brave? Type in yes or brave or whatever you want there so I know. Okay. Number two, do you agree to be mindful? Mindful of yourself. Mindful. That means being in your mind to process truth. Okay. Number three, I agree to think about my whole life right now and not just the best or the worst parts of one moment. Your whole life, we're going to examine it. Because what happens is, and think about this a minute, people will answer questions based on a moment in time and not a section of time. So if you just got done fighting with your husband or wife, and now I ask you a question, do you love life? You're like, no, I hate life. It's like, wait a minute. Don't reference the moment in time. Let's reference space and time, like life as a whole. Okay. Number four, I agree to be completely honest and truthful. Will we do that? Yes. In the chat bar, we'll do it. Nice. Number five, I agree to answer quickly based on my gut instead of overthinking each question. Who's got a good gut instinct? Type in gut if you have a real good gut instinct. Oh yeah, you do. So you did some things and it didn't match your gut. And then you were like, yeah, my wife's gut is like, it's like there's an antenna attached to the universe. My wife's gut. I don't even go, she's like, my gut says this. I'm like, okay, let's just not do that. Like, okay. Now I'm hoping she doesn't use that against me with the floor, because she told me she knows how to play me today. She told me this, Lenita. She says, I know how to play the game with you. It's been a long time. I'm like,
No, the system.
oh, okay. That's what she said. Did you hear it? It's like the universe just spoke to me. She's like, I know, Anthony. She's like, I know how to play the system. I bet Ella knows how to play the system because she's nodding her head. She knows the system. All right. Number six, I agree to answer transparently versus what I wish was true. Do you agree on that? Like some people are like, you answer your friends the way you wish it was true. How's things going? Oh, they're going amazing, incredible. Like I'm in such a passionate relationship. Oh yeah, we like sip wine together every night and like lick each other's neck. And then like, that's not true. You fight with each other all the time, but you want it. You wish it was true. So you tell people what you wish was true. Okay, and the last one, I agree to be excited no matter what the result, because I know that transformation starts with awareness. Now, when we go through this assessment, if you're like, okay, no, I don't like, don't be like, oh my God, I'm horrible. No, this is not good. This is not bad. Okay. It's not good. It's not evil. It's nothing. It's just information. It's just information, everybody. With information, you know what we could do? We can make a new decision. Is that true? Type in true only if it's true. With information, we can make a new decision. So let's not beat ourselves up. You're not here to impress anybody. We're just here to make a new decision. All right. If you're really excited to dig into it, I know some of you probably tried going ahead, like my super entrepreneur driven, want to get to the details people already filled out half of this damn thing, right? I know how you guys roll. I watch you, but let's do it together. All right. Type in, let's do it if we're going to do it together. All right. Now, the score is out of 10. You're only going to put a check mark if it's true, like true for time. If it's not, don't make it up. I'll go through them and then we'll give a score. You'll tell me your score. There's no judgments. I love my life and I am very happy. Think about it inside your heart. Go to your heart. And if you're sitting next to someone else, don't be looking at each other's answers, because like one of you might say, no, I'm unhappy. You look at your husband, you're like, what the hell's wrong with you tonight? Right? So let's Let's not look at everybody else's sheet. Let's do our own sheet. The next one, I can't wait to get out of bed every morning. If you snooze the button 3 times, that's not true. It's not true. If you snooze, yeah. So it will be a point for everyone. Yeah. Get 1 point for each one. That's a yes. Okay. I spend my time away from work doing the things I enjoy most. If you're always in a state of complaining, I'm doing too much laundry, I'm cooking too much, I'm taking care of kids, well, then you're not going to answer that one. Every day I spend time on me, whatever time on you is. Might be meditation, might be walking, might be taking care of yourself. I love my days off and weekends. They are fun packed. Well, I'm going to have to make mine tomorrow fun because we have a brand new house for Foo Dog and going to be doing some cleaning and getting some stuff for it. So I'm going to find a way to make it fun. But I don't know. Is it normally fun and packed? I appreciate the little things in life. The little things means you walk out in the morning in the front door, you open the door and you hear the birds. You smell the beautiful air. You look at the rain and you go, that's amazing. That's the little things. Or you go, I can't believe that shit's raining out. I can't believe there's smoke in my area, like in Aaron's area. I can't believe there's smoke all over. All right. I am living the way I want to live at this moment. I am living the way I want to live at this moment. Now, remember, this is not to upset you. It's not to depress you. It's not to give you anxiety. It's to give you information. Everyone that's not true, your hand should go up like this, like, yes, I'm changing that. Yes, I'm going to improve that. Okay. I don't get stressed out easily and can chill. I don't get stressed out easily and can chill. I laugh a lot. And I am fun to be with. All right. Everyone that you checked as true, you're going to put a number. Whatever it is, 6 out of 10, 1 out of 10. What is your happiness score? And remember, there's no judgments here. So put your true number in the chat bar. Thank you, Jennifer, for your honesty. We got 7s. We got 5s. Yeah. Everybody type in the chat bar. Congratulations for everybody being honest. Type in the chat bar. 5. 5 and a 5, 4. And Shane, how do I say that name? Unmute and say that for me.
It's Italian, Mike. You should know.
Well, I'm part Polish, which stole all of the good Italian language from me. But so how do I say that?
Emanuela.
Okay, I'm never going to get that right. You must have a nickname.
Emma.
Emma. Thank you, Emma. Okay. The other one sounds beautiful, but I'm going to have to go with Emma. Yeah. And what does the name mean?
God is with you.
God is with, oh, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. All right. Now I'll go back in here since we have our scores. So since you guys have your scores here, I want you just to type in one thing in the chat bar. What was most awakening to you there? Like, what is something that was like, holy shit, didn't realize that one. Tell me just one thing, like, and then we're going to go to the next one. They get better. They get better. Not enough fun. Okay. I need to disconnect from work fully on the weekends and have fun with my life. You got one life, right? One life. Not loving my time off. Oh, yeah, the little things. All right, thanks for your honesty, everybody. Let's go to number 2. This is a fun one. All right, everybody, money. I regularly save and invest 10% or more of my income. You're either doing it or you're not. I have no money worries. Financial freedom. I will tell you something about money worries, and I'm sure people have it. And my wife and I have been debt free since I'm 28 years old. She's pretty much the same age. And now we're level 51. We've been debt free for whatever that is, how many years. And we haven't had money worries since actually before 28, but we've been debt free completely since we're 28. I'm not saying it to brag. I'm saying by design, every one of you can create that. Okay, so keep that in mind. I have no credit card debt that concerns me. Matter of fact, if you have no debt, you love credit cards because you get free points and you buy lots of shit on Amazon's. Yeah, my wife's not level 51. She's just level sexiness. That's all. Okay, sorry, babe. You know, Ken, it just comes out sometimes. You know what I mean? I can't help myself. Okay, the next one. I have at least 50% of money of my annual salary in the bank or invested. Okay, 50% of money of my annual salary in the bank or invested. That's how much money you have, right? So 100,000 a year, 50,000, right? I have a residual money plan in place for my future. What that means is you have a plan for money just to produce cash for you while you have fun in life. Man, I feel like who did unlocking the wealth code? Type in unlock in the chat bar. Who did unlocking the wealth code? Yeah, like we should just do that one again. Are you guys feeling that or what? Yeah, like I think we should just do that sucker again because I'm just thinking of all the action we took and we got to sharpen that skill set. All right, the next one. I always know what I'm spending each month. I always know what I'm spending each month. Or you look at the credit card and you're like, really? That's what Whole Foods cost this month? I always know what my bank balance is at any given moment. Awareness, right? Awareness. I am financially knowledgeable. I know about money and investing money. All the different things of investing. Next one, I have total control over my finances. I have total control over my finances. And the last one, I am always thinking of ways to make money grow for me. All right, add them up. Where are we at? 9. Man, superhero. 8, 4. What do we got here? 1, 6, 2, 7, 1. Greg's a 7. Okay. All right. Really good. Let's go to the next one. What was your big takeaway from the money one? Type in the chat bar. Emma's a 3. Shane's a 7. I'm glad you're here. We will help you. Lots of work to be done. Just ouch. Yeah, I get it. But it's okay. There's no emotion attachment to it. It's like, oh, now I know the information. Now we'll work on a plan. Now we'll work on a plan. Always looking for ways. Okay. Career. Now, career could be you work for somebody, or it could be you work for yourself. It could be you own a company. That's what career is right there. I love my career and I am fulfilled. You know what fulfilled is? Like you are trying to do it like while you're cooking burgers on Saturday afternoon, you can't stop thinking about what you do. You are just so fulfilled by it. Like my wife and I, on Thursday, we just finished 10 days, 13 hours a day, longest training we ever did in our life. And like, we're here with you right now. I am so fulfilled. I'm so fulfilled to be here with you, giving you this knowledge. The next one, I look forward to going to work every day. I look forward to going to work. I spoke about this because we had a call with the Freedom Tribe before this. I would tell you the faster you turn the word work into fun, like, and you just change that. Some people say it because it sounds good. They're like, I never worked a day in my life. And it's like, is it true? And you could tell if it's true by the way it radiates from people, right? If they really love what they do and it's fun and it's passionate and it's exciting, they never worked a day in their life. If they go in and the first thing they do is they're bitching, they're complaining, I can't believe it, they're working. All right, next one. My career stimulates me and develops me as a person. The next one, I work to live and not live to work. So again, that goes back to the work to live is how you define everything you're living with. Like growing my company, growing a training organization, growing Food Dog, like there's no definition of work for all of those that I've done. In the beginning, the service company was a lot of work. Before I grew up and learned how to redefine myself and grow myself faster than the problem was growing. Maybe write that down. Your goal is to grow yourself faster than any problem can catch up to you. Can you type in make sense if that makes sense? Otherwise, I'll repeat it, right? You want to grow yourself faster than any problem could ever catch up to you. And then nothing will ever be a problem because you're growing so fast, you would solve things before it became a situation. Okay, I know where my career is taking me, both in advancement and reward. That could be your company, right? You know where it's taking you in advancement and reward. I have as much energy at 9 a.m. as I do at 5 p.m. Well, for me, it's almost 9 p.m. And I have the same energy as when I was wiring the kitchen this morning at 8 a.m. Okay, my career does not stress me out, or your job, or your business. The people I work with are great. My work environment is positive and supportive, and I have fun at work. All right. Rank them up, everybody. Rank them up. Got a 7, 7, 5. Shane got a 10. Nice job, Shane. We got 8s, 4s. What else we got here? We got a 6, 10, 7. All right. Let's go to the next one. What was your big one there? What one stuck out for you? Like, I better something here. Energy. Okay. 2, both of you, very congruent on energy. Yeah, every at 5 p.m. Yep, energy and stress. Okay. Need to define a role and advancement and reward. Okay, awesome. Let's go to our next one. Are these really, type in helpful if this is really helpful to go through this. Is this really helpful? At the end of this, I want it to be the best assessment you've ever had in your life. Like I want it to be like, you would use this a couple times a year. You would just pull this out and reevaluate it again. By the way, thanks everyone for the safe space right now. It feels awesome. Yeah, very safe, very safe. And we're so glad you're here. So this assessment, you know that what it's like today may be different a quarter from now. I think if you want a best practice, like a very best practice, minimum every quarter, just have it. What you could do is print out a copy of this, write the date on it, put it somewhere and put on the calendar. Okay, let's see, what are we in? We're in July. So maybe August, September, October would be a good time to reassess it again. And then do it again New Year's Eve, right? New Year's Eve. And then do it every quarter, and you will just be a constant, what we call self-correction machine. You'll just self-correct on a regular basis. Now, when you're in here, if you get to 1 and you're like, okay, that sucks. How do I get more energy so I have the same level of energy in the morning? Then you ask a question. All right, we're on people, everybody. We're doing great. We are 4 out of 8. We're right tracking on time, everybody. All right, so this is people, which includes family and relationships. We got to pull them all into one big bucket and look at it as a whole. Okay, my family life is fantastic. That's like every aspect of your family life. Okay, every aspect of your family life. Immediate. Well, when you say family life, we want to talk about everybody consumed. So let's say, oh, this year so far, right? Let's just say the whole year, my family life. Let's not say when I was 5 years, 5 years old, right? We don't want to worry about when you were getting smacked as a kid. All right, next one. I have a lot of friends and we do things together. Now, remember, it doesn't matter. It's what you think about friends. I always said, like, some people have 100 friends and they don't know who they are. Some people have 2 very close friends and they know everything about them. So to me, a lot of friends is 2. To some people, a lot of friends is 50. Depends on your definition of friends. Next one, I am close to my parents, alive or not. That's an interesting one, right? Because there could be a plus or minus. Like, I'm really close to my mom. I'm not close at all to my dad. Now, remember, this is not about good or bad. It's about where are you standing right now and does it bring self-realization? I have a best buddy. I have a couple best buddies. You know, best buddies are those people you could tell things with, you know, they're not going to judge you and they're just there to support you in the darkest of your days. I am close to my children. I get along with my neighbors and the people in my area. We do a lot of activities together as a family. That seems to change over time. Anybody have young adult children? Can you type in young adult? Do you have young adult children? Like 19, 20, 21, 22? It seems like time together is interesting now, isn't it? It's like you got to grab time. Activities are like a walk or a conversation. It changes over time. I notice for us. The people who matter the most in my life love me and love you for who you are, not just what you do, for who you are. I have a good network. It's a network of either friends, family, support people. And the last one, I get along with and communicate effectively with anyone. With anyone. My wife sees me ride the bicycle around the neighborhood. I wave to all the people, talk to everybody that's there. I still have one guy. He's like the seagull guy. He like feeds the seagulls. He's one of those guys. I'm still trying to make friends with him. I still have to find out.
Feeds them out his door.
Yeah, he feeds them. He doesn't really come out and he has crazy lights in his house, but me and him we still have to meet each other. I feel weird waving to him and I don't know his name. All right, 5, 6. Okay. Thank you for your honest. What was your big one here, everybody? What one was like, oh man, that was weird? Or, oh man, that was interesting. Oh man, I'm going to pay attention to that now. My parents, okay. I wonder how people describe me in the neighborhood. Me too, Madison. That's what I've been thinking all week long. I've been like, how the hell, I wonder how they describe her. And like Chuck, I mean, wonder what the hell they think of him. I don't know. I think we have one neighbor we're really close with. The naked kids lady. Yeah, that's perfect. I think that's how they describe you. All right, let's go to confident. Ready? I am a confident person. Confident person. You know if you're a confident person, right? It's like anything that's going to happen, you're like, let's do it. Like, I put myself in a pretty best confident person. They're like, everybody's dying, not me. Everybody's going to burn, not I. Everyone's going to get sick. I can't. You know, I'm just like, I just deflect everything with my ability to feel that, you know, there's going to be lots of traffic. I'm like, nope. And I refuse to see it. I'll just listen to shit while I drive. Okay. I don't doubt my ability to do a job. I don't doubt my ability to do a job. I know my strengths and my weakness. I know my strengths and my weakness. I don't have difficulty in saying no. Can't wait. Like, type in the chat bar, like, who says yes and regrets it? And who says yes to the point they fatigue their human self? You're a yeser. Hey, can you go do this for me? Yes. Can you do this? Yes. Can you do this? Yes. And you're like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. I'm falling apart. Occasionally. Okay. Recovering people pleaser. That's awesome. That's good. I don't often think that I am not as good as others. I don't often think that I am not as good as others. I don't worry what others may think of me. Here's how you know if you worry about what others think about you, like you're constantly, I'm pretty sure not Madison, because she's naked in her, and she's out there with the boys peeing in the bushes. So she doesn't have a problem with that. But some people, they're constantly worried about what others think. They put filters on all their faces on social media. They constantly are making everything the way that they feel someone else will be okay with it, right? And because they're worried, they live in a state of judgments. They live in a state of judgments. Okay. The next one, I don't worry what others may think of me. I don't worry what others think. The next one, I don't expect myself to be perfect all the time. Who's my perfectionist? Type in, you just live in a state of perfection. If you live in a state of perfection, you normally also live in a state of anxiety, right? Because anxiety is a lot of times caused from wanting to make the most perfect decision all the time. It's not important for me to want to be liked and approved of. Yeah, and procrastination. I smile a lot, and I am a positive person. I am a positive person. Add them up. 5. Thank you, Aaron. 7 and 7. Very nice. What else we got? 7, 7, 8, 10. Anthony, nice. I know Anthony's a 10. He's like, a garden? I will build a garden. A boat? I will buy a boat. Anthony's like that. All right, let's go to the next one. What was your big one from that one, everybody? What's the one that hit you between the eyes? You're like, better think of that. Being approved by others. Yep. Approval. Yeah, I think a lot of people have that, right? Sense of approval. I wonder where that comes, like, where does that, might be something to explore that one. Like, where did that come up first in life, right? Like, where did that come up first? All right, health and looking at yourself. I take in exercise every week. That could be walking, jogging, yoga, whatever you consider exercise. I lead a healthy lifestyle in terms of food I eat, and I do not abuse my body with excess of hurtful things. You guys know what hurtful things are, right? You don't need me to tell you. You just make a decision. If it's probably has hurtful ingredients and hurtful outcomes for most, it's probably a hurtful thing. Probably not the most beneficial thing. I am happy with my appearance. I spend time in my favorite hobbies. I manage my stress levels by relaxing each and every day. I take off time when needed. There are no outstanding issues or problems that have not been resolved or working towards being resolved. Remember, this is health and looking at yourself. I have a couple things to resolve. I have this crazy finger thing. It's now been written on the, it's just really weird. And eventually I think it's just going to hook itself completely over. And so I wrote it on my list, and it's time to get that, that resolved, that finger there. I do not chase my tail in terms of not having enough time. I regularly treat myself each week to something I enjoy: clothes, massage, maybe a walk, a movie. And the last one, I regularly assess how I am looking after myself and putting a plan in place to improve it. Add them up. Nice job, Simon. Madison, Aaron. Okay, what was your big awareness from this one? Type it in. What was your big awareness? Antonia, nice. Marissa, thank you. I don't take enough time off when needed. Okay. Lost my hobbies. Yeah. Relax, time off. Hobby and treat self. Okay. So before we go to 7, just up to 6 so far, the ones we went through, think of all the people you know in life, in business, in career. How many people, we're going to finish this. How many people do you think should do this assessment? Type in the chat bar, like who should do this assessment? We're only up to 6. 100%, every single person. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, like, why isn't every single person doing this assessment tonight? You know why? It's easier to sit on a couch. It's easier to Facebook. It's easier, like, people complain about the life they don't have because you're right, Madison, it would scare them, right? Like they want things without designing things. They want things without change. And going from not successful to ultra wealthy is a whole lot of change and transformation that happens. Okay, here we go. Growth and development. I am constantly learning and growing. I'm pretty sure everyone on here gets this one. My brother told me, why the hell would you do a training on a Friday night? Is he wealthy? Who wrote that, Kathy or Greg? Is he wealthy? All right, I'll look out for you to answer that. I'm curious about that there.
I'll just answer it. He probably is because he's tighter than tight.
Okay, so he doesn't spend nothing. So he's wealthy because he has every penny since he was 6 years old or something. Is that the deal? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Next one, I try out new things and activities all the time. I make plans to improve myself constantly. I know what my goals are, and I am eagerly and effectively making them a reality. I enjoy variety. I develop the people around me so that they are more successful in their lives. I think some of you probably invited some people here, probably because you're like that. I have all the tools, contacts, and resources to make me a success. I have mentors who continually push me to achieve more. A lot of you here probably would have that one easy. I make events happen rather than wait for them to happen to me. The last one, I regularly attend seminars, training courses, and conferences to improve. That's your growth and development. Yep. I would expect high scores from all of you here. Yeah. It's good. Aaron? Aaron, I think you're being hard on yourself tonight here, but I will honor your score. But you have been in growth and development for a long time. Long time. All right, here we go. 8 of 8, unfinished business. Ready? Let's dig deep into our heart. I am in control of my own life and my own destiny. And ask yourself if you truly are, or if somebody else is part of the control of your destiny. I could die right this moment with no regrets. I am doing what I want when I want. I am really optimistic about the future. There is nothing I am dreading or avoiding at this moment in time. Does anybody have that one? Is there like, does anyone, I'm so curious, like, there is nothing I am dreading or avoiding at this moment. Like I am dreading. Now, I think you could look at it as a whole, but like I'm dreading Lowe's and Home Depot this weekend. Like I'm really dreading that in this moment. I'm trying to figure out how to make that fun, but like I am dreading every aspect of that. I'm going to make it. We're going to do it, but I'm dreading it right now. Okay. I have a plan in place to succeed in all that I do. Well, how the hell could I answer that one good? Because like I'm dreading Home Depot and Lowe's tomorrow. So how can I have a plan in place to succeed? Now I have to fix that. I have to have a plan in place, which I do. I already have a checkoff sheet. It's right there. I do have a plan. So I'm going to check that one. All right. I am implementing my plan. I have the energy and drive to succeed. I am not afraid of making mistakes or failing at things. And I am now ready to give all it takes to succeed. Oh, don't even talk about these effing cabinets, Nick. We're not even done with that shit yet. We're
Oh my
still
God,
dealing.
you don't even want to know the latest update, babe.
Oh, don't even tell me tonight. I don't want to know because now I'm going to really be excited to go to Lowe's and Home Depot tomorrow. Okay. I don't even want to know. Nick, don't even just send energy about the cabinets. All right. 8, 10, 8, 5, 8. Aaron, how did you get 66? Or were you so excited you hit 6 twice? Is that what you did? You hit 6 twice? All right, got it. And 5. All right, guess what time it is, everybody? It's time to put these scores in. So take all your scores and carry them over. So if you had a 6 and an 8 and a 5 and a 10, bring all your scores over and then add up your total score. Add up your total score. Let's do some math. When you're done with math, type in your total score. All right, so we got 57, 38, 66. Nice job, everybody doing the scores. 27. Who else has a score here? 60. 57. Money killed me. 28. Okay. You ready to see the translation for these scores, everybody? All right. Now, remember, let me say it again. This is not to upset you. It's to give you a little bit of a gut check of, hey, like I have to work on something. If you were 0 to 39, you probably have a lot of confusion in your life. You're probably confused in a lot of areas. Things might be, you're not living your best life ever. Maybe you feel confused, even frustrated because you're busy, but deep down there's a struggle from a lack of like fulfillment. You're at a stage where you're like, is this what it's about? Is this where I'm at? There must be more. And you're just in a little state of confusion there. And you know that in order to change things, you're going to have to really build a plan and you're going to have to execute on the plan. Okay. And if you're in that state, like, remember, this is not a take your temperature DNA test. This is the more honest you were, the more truthful you were, the more this is going to make sense for you. So if you're in a state of confusion, you go make a commitment tonight. Like, I no longer want to be confused. And we're going to start improving things. If you're 40 to 59, you probably live in a state of okay. This is, my instructor used to say, like, people that are okay live the life of a squirrel. Like a squirrel gets up, it craps, it goes, looks for food, it mates, it comes back, it sleeps, it craps again. He goes, that's what a lot of people in the world live, the life of a squirrel. Think about it. It's like just repetitive. I started negotiating how to get 3 more points. Yeah, that's normal. That's normal. So you're just okay. It's like you wake up and you can't remember yesterday. It was a blur. You're just living. You're just living, right? If you were 60 to 69, you're probably in a state, you're happy. Like things are pretty good. Life's good. You're healthy. You got some money. You're not major struggles anywhere. Things seem to be going really well, right? You've got a lot to be happy about. You're feeling fulfilled, a lot of your time. However, there's some areas in your life that still cause you some real frustration. Like some things seem out of balance. And when you're happy, you know that there's levels of happy that you're teetering between happy and just okay. And you kind of have this little bit of circle depending on the time of the year, what's going on in business, life, career, money. And that's what happy's like. It's like a cycle. And then if you're 70 or plus, you're up there in your best life ever. You have a lot of things, there's still things to tweak. You love your life. You feel fulfilled. Every day is an exciting adventure and you enjoy nearly every moment except going to Lowe's and Home Depot. The rest of it, you really, really enjoy and you can't wait to see what's ahead of you except the kitchen cabinets. Everything else you're really, really excited about. You're excited about. That's your best life ever. And this is the quest that you want to go. Now, the thing that's interesting about this for you to know is you're in a state of wanting to go up and anchor so you never go back down. So if you were below 39, your job is not to go to 70. It's just to go to here. Like just get here, right? And then embrace that. This assessment is so good. So much clarity, improve. Oh, nice. Thank you, Simon. And then what your goal is to go here. Here's what happens with a lot of people. You're welcome. They try to make, I want to go from sucky to best life ever tomorrow. And then they self-destruct and they spiral into the ground, right? Here's what you want to do. Just make a little improvement every day. That's all. That's all. Pick the brackets we went through here, right? Pick the brackets and say, you know what? This weekend, I would like to pick 2 from this area, 2. And I'm going to work on that this weekend. And then maybe next week you say, you know what? I'm going to work on a people one and a health one, just one. Go there, pick one and work on it. And just use this as your sheet to keep going back and checking. Now, if we look at the concept here, I told you we get to is change the channel. How do you improve things? Turn the channel. Step 1, we did. You have to evaluate where you're at. That's step 1. Okay. Your old identity is on the left side of the channel. It's on the left side of the dial. And what you want to do is be willing, which all of you are, or you wouldn't have been on and you wouldn't have stayed here. You have to be willing to shift and change. And the way to do that is, guess what? Remove past trauma, guilt, programming. Okay. That's the old identity. In order to improve, we have to go, that's step 2. We have to go to step 3. We have to build a new identity. Now, the process, there's a couple ways to build identity. It could be over a lifetime. Like you could take this assessment and say, I'm going to try to improve one thing every year, and it might take you a lifetime to improve. Or you could build a brand new identity and flip it and switch it. Now, we're not talking about an alter ego. Alter ego concept sounds good, very dangerous. It's very borderline of bipolar. Alter ego is an alter personality. And you don't choose an alter personality, you choose an identity. An identity lives with all kinds of emotions. So you want to choose an identity that embraces all the different emotions, not try to put on a mask and then go take the mask off. It's dangerous to live that way. That's called, just so you know what that's called, it's called Halloween. You're brave for a moment because you're a spooky ghoul, but then the next day you feel like you're average again. And it's constant conflict between wanting to be Robin Hood and just being average, right? Versus changing your identity where you become your best self inside and outside, not trying to just wear an external mask. Once we have this we're building this new identity, step number 4 of the new identity, step 4 of the new identity is you have to live it. You have to live that new identity, which means you have to believe internally and externally about your new identity, who you are now in that moment. And then step number 5 is you want to be consistent in your new identity. You want to be consistent in it. You don't want to take on habits, patterns, behaviors that pull you back to here. People think when you take on a new identity, you can't go back. If I take you from being an animal to civilized, and I take a civilized human and put them back in an animal world, guess what? Their identity will have to become animalistic to survive. Otherwise, if they stay civilized, they won't be able to survive in an animalistic world. Unless they could create a civilization, then they can move out the animal world. Can you type in make sense if that makes sense? Okay. Step number 6 is now your new identity serves you until it's time to improve it or shift it. Because you're in a constant state of identity evolution. You're in a constant state of evolution. You're either evolving up or evolving back. One or the other. How many, type in something, let me know if this is really clicking for you, this changing the channel concept here. Is it really, is it clicking? Tell me if it's making sense for you guys. Okay. All right, awesome. So let's go to, and we are doing amazing on time here. We have just a few things that are left. One, I'm going to share with you guys something I have coming up. If any of you are interested in it, here's what we have coming up. Here's some things that I found out, and I'm wondering for you, it's definitely for me. Like when I think about things that motivate me or moved me forward or shifted me into no longer playing safe or no longer playing at a lesser level than I thought I deserved, is one, I'm constantly reminded here that life is short. It is. And there's no guarantee, right? I mean, it's short, it's quick. We don't know when it ends, but we know we have tomorrow or at least tonight until it's time, right? The next thing, time is precious. Like how you spend your time, who you spend it with, what you do in that time, it's super precious. And if you do agree, who agrees it's precious? Just type in agree. Then why would you ever waste your time on not getting aligned with the very best way to create your identity? That's what this assessment was. The assessment was built to show you a rating, a KPI. For those of you who don't know, that's a key performance indicator a KPI for your life. Everybody has these business KPIs, their conversion, their average, how much money they made, what's in their bank, but they don't have a life KPI. How do I know my life is getting better, improving? How do I know that what I'm working on is the right thing? I watch people every day buy a book to read something about a problem they don't have. Let me say that again, everybody. Every day I watch somebody on Facebook say, I'm going to get a book to solve a problem that I don't have. Someone goes, oh, here's a great leadership book. Oh man, I'm going to read that. I'm like, oh, do you have a leadership problem? No. Why are you getting that book? So-and-so said it was good. Why would you read a book about something you don't have a problem on? What problem you have? Oh, my wife hates me. Well, you probably should get a book on how to not have your wife hate you no more. Now that sounds like a good book to read, right? So people think like, it's like Tom Sawyer. When I was a kid, the teacher forced me to read Tom Sawyer from front to back. Some of it was okay, but I really wasn't interested, but I was forced to read it. So like, how many of you have read a complete book from front to back and halfway through the book, you knew it sucked, but you still finished it? Tell me in the chat bar. And if you did finish the book, you know why? It's because Tom Sawyer, as a kid, you were taught if you didn't finish the book, Nick, you were a failure, because the book report was you had to finish the whole book. Maybe a different way to think about it. All right, time speeds up. It speeds up, especially when you have problems. You look back and you're like, all I did was solve a problem. I didn't solve my life. I didn't improve my life. All I did was deal with a problem. You never get time back. I'm glad you spent this time with me. I'm super honored you're here with me tonight. You don't get the time back, but you know what? You don't want this time back because this time gives you time, right? It's like somebody told me one time, they're like, when you do training, if you do it and implement it, it doesn't take your time. It's like it pulls back the bow and arrow so that when you're done with the training, you can let it go and fly faster. Who feels they're going to be able to fly faster after this time together tonight? Just type in fly faster, right? How could you not? It's self-awakening, it's self-awareness, and it's self-directive. Now, some of the things in here, you may not know quietly what to do. Well, reach out to me. Then if you do the change the channel, we'll do it in that. We'll solve those things. And then make the most out of every second. Make the most out of every second. Okay? I'm going to leave you with one last thing while we finish up here. And I want you to read this. Okay? You are the creator of your own life. Engineer it and start living your best life ever. Engineer it. You know what engineer means? You get to create exactly what you want it to be. Exactly. And here's the gift that all of you have. It doesn't have to be what your mom wants your life to be, or your dad, or your neighbor, or your friends. It gets to be the exact life you choose it to be tonight. So what I'd like to do is just get a couple quick shares before we go. So you could give me a little feedback on how the training was, what was most awakening, enlightening for you. So let me just pick somebody here. Nick, what about you? Why don't we pick you tonight? Unmute and tell me like what was cool about the assessment and what we went through tonight.
It was great because now I know a lot of things that I never paid attention that I'm missing and that I need to really do. And I'm going to start doing, like you said, even if it's just one thing, even if it's every day or every other day, and just try to improve it to get to that 70 plus is where you want to go.
Yeah. Now you have a target, right?
Yep.
Now you have a target. Awesome. Let's give them a fist bump. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Let's go over to Kathy. What about yourself, Kathy? Kathy and Greg. Yeah, I didn't leave you out, brother. I didn't leave you out.
All the time.
Ladies first. You know that.
There you go. Fair enough.
Okay.
No, I love the in different areas of your life and the assessment and just kind of, looking deeper into the areas and what you need to work on and ranking yourself. And now we have a baseline. So now we know what we need to work on.
Yeah. I think the base, it's like 70 plus, right? 70 plus. Keep pushing it. Greg, what about yourself?
It's same thing, just picking out those certain things that I know I'm not very good at and just focusing on those and making those a priority to capture and get control of. So, yeah, it was great. Loved it.
And I
Now
don't
you
want to be
got-
a squirrel.
Yeah, that was a big awakening when my instructor, well, after that, he was kind of trying to tell me I was a squirrel without telling me I was a squirrel. For you two guys being a husband and wife, how congruent was it on the things? Were you like both of you had the same thing or you had different things?
We're pretty, I don't know. It was kind of random. We were different on some and same on the other. And yeah, he's a lot more confident than I am, but like financially, we both know where we're at and just, but our families, that's why I said immediate, like just our tight knit family, we're great, but our different sides of the family are different. So.
Yeah, super great. Let's give him a fist bump. 3, 2, 1, boom. And let's go over to Shane and Emma.
You gonna pick? Okay. Yeah, good to really break it down, obviously, into those different areas. What I actually did was the ones that I couldn't tick, I put like a 0.3 or a 0.7 because a lot of them were like 0.8 or 0.7. So I was close to ticking it, wasn't fully there. But by doing the 0.3s and the 0.2s and the 0.4s, it gives me the real low ones that I really know I need to focus on. So a lot of it just comes down to how I spend my time with family and relaxing and enjoying outside of the business.
Yeah, awesome. And Emma?
Emmanuel.
Hello.
Manuel?
For me, yeah, for me, I can see clearly where the gap is, where I need to work, and it's money. For me, the biggest, I fucked up on the money, like meaning that I had the lowest score, and people, then I was not aware of it. And yeah, it was really good. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's give him a fist bump. 3, 2, 1, boom. You can always tell in Italian, like, because we know how to curse well. You know what I mean? It's just what we do. We're good. We're good at that shit. All right. And Anthony, what about yourself? And Ella.
Well, for me, my lowest score was money. That was a real awakening. I know I've had enough training, been around it, but now I was trying to make it happen. And it's starting to happen. Like, I think we made done about 40 grand this week, last week and a half. Yeah, but that was only because Corporation of Hamilton broke down. So, but I'll take it any way it comes.
That's
And,
right.
and the other thing is, I've learned because of being sick, I don't handle the money, so I just create it and Allah handles it. So I don't know where it stands, but I know how much work I'm done, how many bills are written up. I know that. So, but I don't know where everything stands, and I have hired another accountant to help me process and budget the other things that I want to do within of using the resources of our own company rather than borrowing it from anywhere else. So
Nice.
it's interesting, and I think this assessment was very valuable for me, and it gives goals or targets, I should say, gives targets of where to move or what to aim for. You know, so
Nice.
and another aspect of it is, when you got this type of venture, your friends change, and the people around you get thinner because they can't run with you or see your vision. So I don't have the same type of friends or have the time for friends that I used to have. So that was an interesting aspect when we was dealing with people. You know, I don't talk to the same people. Matter of fact, I don't even talk. I would be doing automobile university or listening to things that help me grow rather than talking to people on the phone.
Nice. Ella, what about yourself?
It was an awakening. My career scored really low, so it just, I don't know what that means, but I'm looking forward to your next course that will probably help me to, what is it? What's the next one that you're doing?
Change the channel.
Change the channel, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I need to change the channel in a lot of areas in my life.
We're gonna help you do that. We're gonna help you do that. Let's give him a fist pump. 3, 2, 1, boom. And Simon, what about yourself? You had a lot of ahas in the chat bar there.
Hey guys, first of all, thank you for your time on this, and I love everyone here. It's amazing to be in a vulnerable environment where you can share. This assessment for me just made me realize, I think sometimes we get so much into our head as to what can go wrong and how to fix it, and we don't find and pinpoint exactly where to fix it. And I think just putting it down like very clearly, I'm maybe more a logical person, so I needed to see it to know exactly where to work. And I think this exercise for me was really that, putting kind of a bigger picture of all the things that I knew I needed to work on, but I was scared to kind of dive into, but now it's all in front of me. So it's just about picking one thing at a time and just moving forward, right? So it was a really, really good experience. Thank you so much. I'm glad I showed up even late, but I showed up.
Good. I'm glad you were here. Let's give him a fist bump. 3, 2, 1, boom. All right, everybody. We went over some. I want to be respectful of your time. I know it's Friday. I hope this was a great way to spend your Friday. Thanks for the amazing Food Dog team, my beautiful wife, and Aaron and Ken for being here and supporting everybody. We will, hopefully you're all in the Food Dog group. We'll make sure we get, who would like to listen to this again, right in the chat bar, me, if you'd like to listen to the recording again and have it. We'll make sure we upload it for all you guys. All right, everybody. Love you guys. Have an amazing night. Good night. Boom.